Now let's talk about rubber now, with what's going on globally. And we see those backward integration efforts in Nigeria and around the world. Rubber is a key export commodity for Nigeria and is used, I mean, for a whole lot of things. Your tire, your roofing, a lot of manufacturing is done around it. Let's get some insights on Robert this time with Miriam Ode, an analyst with Financial Derivatives Company. Hi, Miriam. You're welcome to the program.
Good afternoon, Edie. Thank you for having me.
So we have some forecasts. Seems a lot of interest around rubber at this time. What's driving this interest and what's driving the forecast?
Yes, the EIU, that the Economic Intelligence Unit, is forecasting a decline in the global price of rubber by the end of 2025. And even presently, we're seeing rubber prices in the global market decline by about 1.3%. And why we're seeing that's year to date, and why we're seeing this decline, and why the EIU is forecasting a further decline in the price of rubber is because of factors such as increased supply from producers like Thailand, and the EIU is forecasting production in Thailand to increase by 3%. And also other factors like the stronger US dollar and also lower oil prices. To give more context to this, there are two types of rubber. There's the synthetic rubber and the natural rubber. And natural rubber is gotten from latex, while the synthetic rubber is gotten from petrochemical sources like oil. So this means that oil is directly linked into the production of synthetic rubber, meaning that a decline in the price of oil, which we're currently seeing, would translate into lower cost of production for synthetic rubber. And now synthetic rubber and natural rubbers are substitutes, meaning that synthetic rubbers could be used instead of natural rubber and vice versa. And so if synthetic rubber becomes cheaper to use, we expect to see demand shift towards synthetic rubber, which will reduce the demand for natural rubber and in turn its price, which is what we are seeing play out. But every projection or every outlook has its risks. And one of the risks to this forecast is actually the extreme weather conditions in the Southeast Asia region. And what this does is that it could reduce output levels in the region and cause and place an upward pressure on rubber prices in the near term.
Yeah, that's scary when you say rubber crisis. There isn't there a way? We know that Ivory Coast is a major producer of rubber. Nigeria too has the potential, as usual. Isn't there a way this crisis can be avoided? You know, maybe boosting of production in the short term, maybe.
Yes, we know that under normal circumstances, if prices increase, then producers will be more willing to increase their production of the commodity. And last year, which was in 2024, we saw rubber prices increase to a 13-year high. But we're not seeing an increase in the level of production. We're not seeing a significant increase in the level of production of rubber. And this is because rubber prices have remained relatively low for the past decade. So this increase in the past 1 year is not enough to offset the decline in rubber production for the remaining 9 years. And what we're seeing is that producers are not incentivized to increase output. And what we're seeing is that they are switching towards other profitable commodities like palm in Thailand, in Ivory Coast. Ivory Coast, what we're actually seeing in Ivory Coast is the opposite of what is happening in the global trend, and that's a switch to rubber instead of out of rubber. And this is because cocoa production, which we know Ivory Coast produces, is one of the world's top producers of cocoa. What we're seeing is since cocoa prices have become relatively volatile in this period. I mean, it reached about $11,000 per MMT, and now we're seeing it at about 8,000. So this has discouraged producers from producing cocoa and have now switched to increase their production of rubber, which is what is currently slightly weighing on rubber prices. And since producers are not willing to produce more, prices are likely to remain low during this period.
All right, Miriam, thank you so much for that.